Welcome back to another lightsaber build video. Today I'm going to show you how I built the Luke VeeOne hero from Corbanth with the CNC machined crystal chamber. So let's get right into it by starting with the unboxing. This is the Luke VeeOne hero from Corbanth. It was sent to me by a customer to get installed with electronics and Corbanth's CNC machined crystal chamber. And here is a look at the hilt we're working with. This is a replica of Luke's lightsaber from Return of the Jedi. As it is right now, it has the screen-accurate grip with uneven rings. The control box isn't set up yet, so just ignore that for now. Now let's take a look at the other parts this comes with. Here is an idealized grip section, where all the rings are the same size. And this is another grip option. This has the screen-accurate rings, but more importantly, it has a cutout for a crystal reveal section. Aside from the grips, there's a second emitter so we can put in a blade, and a pommel cap with discrete sound venting. Lastly, it comes with all these pieces to complete the control box. Now, this is the crystal chamber we'll be putting inside the lightsaber. All the parts making it up are CNC machined, rather than 3D printed like most chambers these days. The chamber, along with the rest of the electronics, will go in here, a chassis designed by Shadowfoil Props. With the addition of electronics, we can now begin the build. To start things off, I want to get the control box set up. So for lightsabers using a control box, it's always a challenge to have a removable chassis. And this solution is probably my favorite one I've seen, and it involves zero soldering. Basically, there are 5 spring pins that sit inside this black plastic holder. These pins will be what connect the control box to the chassis without the need for wires. And inside the control box itself, you have a PCB with 2 buttons and the LEDs for the green and red arrows. This setup works by having the pins sit underneath the control box and the tops of the pins make contact with the PCB inside. And finally, it's all held together with screws. So now we have a control box system that'll connect the removable chassis on the inside with each of the elements inside the control box, all without any soldering. To finish off this part of the build, we add these copper rails to the sides. Just a little Loctite should do the job. Now we just file down the sides of the control box panel card thing. And slide it into place. Moving on to the next part of the build, this is the NeoPixel PCB that'll connect the emitter to the blade. After soldering all the pins and pads, I'm going to attach 1 negative, 1 positive, and 1 data line. Those will all be connected to this blade side PCB at the bottom part of the thin neck. Once that's all glued in, we now have a fully completed emitter and neck section of the lightsaber. Now it's time to move on to installing the crystal chamber and the rest of the electronics. For sound, I'm using this 28mm bass speaker. Always make sure to protect those solder joints. Next up are the battery tabs. This one is the negative tab. Now for the positive. This is our power switch, where we can cut power to the positive side of the battery. And here's the part that makes the whole chassis removable. This little PCB is what the control box spring pins will make contact with. These wires will be what sends power and information to the control box. As for how the blade will get powered, we have another NeoPixel PCB that'll sit at the top of the crystal chamber. When the chassis is inserted into the hilt, this will make contact with the blade side PCB we set up at the bottom of the neck section. Lastly, this is the micropixel that'll light up the top of our crystal. Both the NeoPixel PCB and the micropixel will end up in this holder on top of the crystal chamber. After putting those in place and running the wires down, we can wire up the second crystal chamber pixel. And after a bit of Loctite, and a lot of tweezer work, we now have our Kyber crystal in place. This lightsaber project is now nearly complete. We have our crystal chamber, the PCB to connect to our control box, and the battery contacts, speaker, and power switch. The only thing left to do is connect everything to the soundboard. This is the Profi V3.9, and it'll be the heart and brain of this entire lightsaber. And with that, this lightsaber project is fully complete. Here's a look at the exposed crystal chamber. Now let me take out the chassis and give you a closer look at the completed product. At the top is Corband's CNC machined crystal chamber. All copper, brass, and aluminum. Going down, we have the Shadowfoil Props chassis with the Profi 3.9, lithium-ion battery, control box connector, and a 28mm bass speaker. Let's turn this thing on and see how it works.
Force is strong in my family. My father has it. I have it. My sister has it.
Let's put it back in the hilt. Just slide it in, a quarter turn clockwise, and everything is connected. Now let's turn it on. And of course, since this is a NeoPixel build, it has every color you could want. Let me show you the crystal chamber in different colors while swapping through some fonts.
It's just bad. The dark saber. Have you ever seen one of these? Liable to put an eye on one of these.
Now it's time to celebrate by putting in the blade.
Fight. Where is it's just bad. The dark saber. Have you ever seen one of these?
Rey Skywalker.
Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed checking out this build of the Luke V1 Hero. If you want to see more build videos like this, feel free to like and subscribe. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.